okay, this is how I'm gonna categorize people. And I started categorizing people from, but as soon as this thing is over, we're no longer friends. Hey, I'm Sarah, and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about friendship. Now, I've always had a hard time making friends because, well, I'm a relatively shy person. Actually, not relatively shy, I'm like pretty freaking shy. Anybody who's ever met me in real life knows that I'm a very shy person, and it takes me a really long time to warm up to people. So, like I said, I've always had a hard time making friends. When I was in elementary school, I made a total of 2 friends. One in first grade, which ended after first grade because I ended up moving to a different school, but we did rekindle a friendship in middle school. And one in late third grade, but honestly, I don't even really know if she counts as a friend because I feel like I was just her backup friend. When her actual friends weren't around, that's when she wanted to talk to me and hang out with me. And initially when our friendship started, she only really hung out with me on the bus and acknowledged my presence on the bus because we took the same bus home. But when she ended up going on a different bus because she ended up moving, she started talking to me during school, and sometimes she'd play with me during recess. But for the most part, she kind of hung out with her other friends, which is, fine. And that friendship also ended after elementary school ended because we ended up going to different schools. This pattern continued throughout, middle school through all the way up to college, where, I'd make a friend here and a friend there, and it would last for however long the friendship lasted. Something that I realized is that not only did I have trouble making friends, but I had trouble defining friendships. It wasn't until late middle school that I realized this, when a friend of mine, actually the friend that I ended up rekindling the friendship from first grade, asked me, "Do you consider me a friend?" Because we were talking about friendship and all that jazz. And she asked me this, and I was just like, do I really consider her a friend? I've always been the type of person to be very picky with who I consider friends and who I don't. But, at the same time, I'd feel kind of bad because sometimes people have considered me a friend, and it wasn't the same vice versa. That's always an awkward situation. Man, shucks. Sandra, I am so sorry. I don't consider you a friend. And it's gotten me into a lot of trouble because everybody kind of has their own definition on friends versus not friends. Some people, they consider everybody that they get along with their friends, which I think is cool. I'm just like, wow, that must mean you have a lot of friends. If I consider everybody I get along with friends, then I'd have so many friends. But I don't do that. And then, other people consider everybody, that they hang out with friends. Like, if you've hung out once, we're friends, homie. We're homies, we're friends, we're tight, we're chilling. And I just don't like that. Just like, no, you hanging out with me once doesn't mean that we're friends. Some people consider everybody they know their friend, and I'm just like, whoa. So you don't even have to get along with them for them to be your friend? Wow, that's a very general requirement for friendship. But whatever floats your boat. And I've always been like, gee whiz, I don't know. I know I'm very picky with who I consider friends. Not because I don't think certain people are good enough to be my friends. It's not that at all. It's just I have to feel connected to a person enough to consider them a friend. But it's still kind of dicey even to this day. My freshman year of high school, I was talking to this person about, friendship and whatnot. And this person mentions the word acquaintances, and that got a girl excited. I was just thinking, oh my gosh. Now I had a word to categorize people who I got along with and I liked, but just didn't consider a friend. Acquaintances. So once I got this word acquaintance in my head, I'm just like, okay, this is how I'm gonna categorize people. And I started categorizing people from, low tier acquaintances to best friend. And oh man, honestly, I've never actually told anybody about this. At least, I don't think I've told anybody about this. So I have, 3 different levels of acquaintances: low tier, mid tier, and high tier. And low tier acquaintances are people who, I know your name, you know my name. We can talk to each other, but we never have full-on conversations. It's just like, hey, I recognize you, but there's no connection, there's no banter between us. Mid-tier acquaintances are people who I can actually have a conversation with. Nothing deep, nothing personal, but we might talk about things that we're both interested in. We might talk about a class we have together. We might talk about the weather or something that's going on in the world. But nothing deep. We talk like it's a person that I can talk to, but it doesn't ever get past surface level things. And then a high tier acquaintance is basically somebody that I would consider a friend, but there's one thing missing. And that thing that separates my high tier acquaintances from my friends is intention, which is basically putting in effort. And the reason why there's so many people that I would consider friends but don't is that there's that lack of effort that's put into the relationship. Like we might hang out with each other, we might talk to each other, but they don't hit me up randomly to see how I'm doing. They only hang out with me when it's convenient for them. So there's not much effort being put on their part. Whenever we talk, I'm always the one who reaches out. They never reach out to me. It's not that mutual energy, So that's why there's so many people in the high tier acquaintance area, because the effort, the intention just isn't there for me to consider them a friend. And then, I have friends and I have best friends. And that's more complicated for me to explain. I can barely tell you how I differentiate friends and best friends, so I'm not even going to get into it. But, that's how I categorize people. Not that this is something that I would think about every single time I meet a new person. Okay, you're low tier, you're high tier, you're mid tier. But, I have there's certain people that come to mind when I think of high tier acquaintances. And when I feel so mean calling people high tier acquaintances. It's like I'm saying, oh, you're better than this person, You're just a higher quality person. When it's not even like that, it's just you're a level above because I feel closer to you than I'd feel to a mid-tier or low-tier acquaintance. But it sounds kind of classist, but it's not, I swear. A lot of people don't like being referred to as acquaintances. A lot of people, especially theater folk, they're all friends. They consider a lot of people friends, no matter how close they are to each other. I've heard some people that I know say that, whenever you're in a cast with somebody, whenever you're in a show, everybody in the cast is your friend. I'm like, whoa, Nelly, I don't even talk to everybody in every single cast I've been in. For some bigger casts, there's just certain people that you're not going to talk to. So why would I consider this person that I've literally never spoken to and has never even tried to speak to me a friend? That's a weird concept to me, and it doesn't really make any sense. And also I hate the whole we're friends while this thing is going on, but as soon as this thing is over, we're no longer friends. I hate that because it just reminds me of back in the day when would go on school field trips, and there would always be that one person or those group of people that I'd connect with, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, maybe I found some new friends. And then the next day they act like they don't know me. You know, they act like we didn't bond yesterday. I don't like the idea of considering people friends because you're forced to hang out with them. No. There needs to be effort made. Oh, you're not my friends, you're my castmates. And castmates can be friends. I'm not saying I'm not gonna be your friend just because we're, like, I'm saying that I'm not gonna consider you a friend just because we're castmates. There needs to be that extra effort made outside of the show. You know, I need to hear from you outside of the show when it comes to non-show related things. I need to hang out with you outside of the show. You know, outside of a cast party. Us hanging out at a cast party doesn't immediately make us friends. It's just a cast party. Certain people got mad at me for saying, well, not for saying that. I've never said this before in front of people, but maybe to one person who feels the same way as me when it comes to friends and acquaintances. Like, there's only one person I've ever met. They know who they are. They're probably never gonna watch this video. Who feels the same way as me as when it comes to friends and acquaintances. This person straight up, I don't consider you a friend. I don't consider you a friend either. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't consider you a friend either. This is amazing. No, I don't have to feel bad because everybody else who I put in the acquaintance category had to get in their feelings. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make fun of anybody for getting into their feelings. You know, your feelings are valid. I'm not trying to invalidate their feelings by saying that. I'm just saying that I felt as though it was unfair for them to push how they see friendship onto me and not even consider, you know, how I feel, how I define my friendship. Because there was this one person in particular who got very upset and said, you know, I can't believe you would just throw around the word acquaintances like that. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, like, I didn't know you were that hurt over it. You never said anything till now. No, I didn't think that they would care that much, that I only considered them, along with everybody else in the cast, acquaintances. But they're the kind of person that considers everybody within a cast, no matter, regardless of how much y'all see each other and talk to each other outside of the show, friends. Because their definition of friend is a lot looser than my definition of friend. And instead of trying to understand where I was coming from, you know, because I don't just give anybody the friend label, this person got so mad and immediately expected me to consider them a friend. And for a little while I did consider them a friend because I felt so bad. I'm like, wow, I didn't know you felt that way. I'm sorry. But thinking back, I don't think it's fair that the person just immediately was like, well, I see friendship this way, so you should see friendship this way too. Me and all my friends, we see friendship as anybody you get along with, so that's how you should see friendship too. Like, I just didn't think that was, thinking back, I'm like, I should have stood up for myself. I should have said, you know what, it's not really fair that you're trying to push your idea of friendship onto ice. I'm talking about something so much more deep than that. But I value my friends so very much, and I value my acquaintances too. I'm not acting like, if you're an acquaintance, you have no value to me. No, it's not even like that. I value, you know, all the people in my life. It's just some people are my friends and some people are not my friends. And just because I don't slap the friendship label on you doesn't mean you're not important to me, doesn't mean you don't matter to me. And, you know, that person wasn't the only person who got upset. Another person got upset because we were talking about a certain situation, and I said, you know, I don't consider anybody at insert my alma mater's name here a friend. And this person was not happy about it. This person was like, so you don't consider me a friend? And I was just like, ah. And the person didn't talk to me for a very, very, very long time. And I think this person's feelings were completely valid. I completely understand why they were upset. Because they felt that we had that bond, a close enough bond to consider me a friend. But the thing with me, especially at that point in college, I didn't feel connected with anybody at that school enough to consider them friends, especially not theater people, because my trust throughout my college years, that I became extra picky with who I considered friends and who I didn't. And unfortunately, that hurt some people's feelings a bit, because I guess, you know, in their head, acquaintance is like just somebody you don't know that well, somebody you don't care about. When in actuality, how I see acquaintances is probably equivalent to how they see friends. Let's just say I don't consider any of you guys friends, because I don't know who to trust. I don't know who's out here talking about me behind my back. I don't know who's out here spreading lies about me. I don't know who's out here well, I do know who is out here leaking my text, because somebody told me who it was. But still, like I have all this and more happening to me, so you can't be too surprised that I don't really want to consider anybody friends, especially when I went into that school with already having trust issues, because you know, the semester prior, when I was in community college, you know, my trust was broken by people that I was very close to. So already going in with these trust issues and having my trust broken in even worse ways was too much for me. And I was like, I don't know who to trust, so I can't consider any of you guys friends, because I don't know who's out here telling my business to people who have no business knowing about it. Oh man. I'm going to continue this conversation in part 2 of this video, where I'm going to talk about trust issues I've had with friends, namely in college, and friendship breakups, again, namely in college. I don't know. I guess the universe was just like, bruh, you don't have any drama when you were in high school, so bam, let's have all the drama be in college, because that's when it all happened to me, and it really sucked. So I hate to end it on a not so happy note, but if you didn't hate this video, you actually made it to the end, you can like, you can subscribe, you can share it with your friends, you can follow me on my social media accounts, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.